As someone who's been doing GTRP for years and only recently really quit and actually put it down, I think it's about time we talk about the dark side of GTRP, or the worst side of GTRP, which is today's video's title that we're going to be reacting to. Link to the original video down in the description below. If you like my commentary, consider subscribing to me. With all that out of the way, let's get into it. I have lots of thoughts, and if you've been subscribed to this channel long enough, you know I have plenty to say. So I want to hear what you have to say in the comments down below.
So if you don't know what GTA Roleplay is, or GTA RP as it's most commonly called, it's basically a coping mechanism where you play a facade of someone you want to be who is better than you in every single way,
basically.
in a server with about 100 people doing the same thing.
Or 120.
It's something like that. But GTA RP is something that has arguably extended the life of GTA 5, except from the modding scene and the...
I would say probably saved GTA Online, because GTA Online for a long time, if for those that don't remember, didn't have any content. So this, outside of mods, GTRP saved the momentum that GTA Online had. So I will say I do want to give it credit.
The online multiplayer, where it's the same as an infantryman in the first battle of Saigon 1968, because the only thing happening there is you're essentially the server's public cum rag and are treated as such, especially if you are the lowest level in the lobby. But anyway, GTA RP. GTA RP took platforms like YouTube and mainly Twitch by storm in 2019.
Jesus Christ, 2019. Isn't it crazy?
Due to content creation servers like NoPixel RP, which back then became infested with every content creator possible.
And it was funny because, like, as somebody who was fortunate enough to be a part of that journey early on, if you don't know, by the way, the only reason why I'm known in the RP scene is because back in the day, I started streaming around 2015, and I really took off around 2016. I did GTA car meets before it was a thing in the actual game. So I did RP, but where I really took off and like really built a reputation was GTA car meets, which ended up becoming a DLC and like even more common now. So now I don't want to say I was the only one. There was like a small faction of us that were doing it. But I was definitely one of the first ones to do it, at least on Twitch. I didn't do it on YouTube at the time. I wish I would have. Things would have played out a little bit differently.
It was basically cockroaches that discovered the open honey packet that was content, and a thriving trend at the time. You had XQC, Soda Poppin', Greek, Moon, Saikuna, and even Pokemon at one point. And the regular players that had been streaming on that server for years had to now coexist and live through the experience that was the equivalent of babysitting.
Yeah, this is one of the reasons why in the early days, those of us who were actually RPing got burnt out really fast, because you were basically babysitting streamers and making content for them, because they wouldn't put in the effort that you were. And it's like, I get it, but at the same time, it's like it has to be, you have to do it together. You have to coexist. Like it's a mutual thing, because if not, if the people who are really good at it get burnt out, then the server quality goes down.
The mentally inept, so basically the average Twitch streamer.
Yeah,
it's SpongeBob.
Because it's surprisingly hard to play GTA RP. In some servers you have to be in character 24/7, and in more extreme servers you may face punishment for breaking other people's immersion.
Damn it, it was X.
What was X?
Damn it, it was X.
He's in cuffs.
How do you know that?
Yeah, I'm glad he brought this up in the video, but that's why when I played Juan Pablo, I had the voice. And then when I played yes, Leonardo DiCaprio, right? It's easier to do a voice so that they don't know it's you, but also that way people know you're in character the whole time. Anyway.
Wait, how does he know that?
Just turns around and...
Wait, this guy is metagaming while dead. What the fuck?
This makes it hard to explain mechanics within the game, or if someone has unfortunately locked themselves in an infinite Macarena in the middle of an RP cancer diagnosis. They usually use terms like use your Alt F4 muscle to get out of that.
Flex your G muscle.
Yeah.
And normally you can't just kill other players out of nowhere or cause havoc like a usual GTA server.
No, you
because you
can't.
have to essentially craft a character and a story and let that story develop through events and interactions with other players.
It's LARPing. It's just like what people do LARPing in real life. This is not the only game to do this. A lot of MMOs, you don't know, like World of Warcraft does this, Final Fantasy does this. There's tons of games that do RP. Conan Exiles is a really good one. Now, I will say this: if you do Conan Exiles RP and you find that all people are doing is just e-dating or e-sexing in the game, hey, I'm just telling you now, be prepared because there's the booby sliders on there is crazy. So, but every game has there's a lot of games that have this. I mean, hell, even Roblox has roleplay. So it's not anything new. I just want to put that out there.
And through those developments and the personality of your character, sometimes you are constrained by what you can actually do in game, and you
Yeah.
have to be constantly asking yourself, would my character do this? Or it may be considered fail RP.
RP.
Or you could just be a f***ing cat, those little shits will do anything.
Dude, hurry up, man. This takes
Shut
forever.
up!
It actually takes forever. And no
I'm
one.
cooking meth.
GTA RP has been around in one form or another since 2015.
Ugh, that's yeah.
And has allowed people who have taken their role
You know what's funny is like when I say I started streaming it in 2015, and you look at around the time it started, and you look at like I don't know, I don't know if you can find the data on my channel that because it's been so old. But it's funny because like you find the growth of my channels around the time that this was starting because I was one of the first ones to do this. It's so weird. I feel old.
role-playing and character seriously to potentially make an income and do this full time. And from a content creation perspective, you have to put a lot of effort into this. You have to be both entertaining and have an interesting character that viewers can be invested in with almost every interaction,
Yeah.
especially with other players.
Wrong one, you fat. You fat You fat. You fat.
GTA RP was and is still very popular. Once again, with servers like NoPixel becoming popular in
is.
2019, you saw a slew of content
It is, but for the wrong reasons. I don't know if he's gonna talk. I'm sure he's gonna talk about this because he's talking about the positives. But it's positive. It's only popular because what people. So when I started GTRP on Twitch back then, I did kind of pop off, but I didn't like. It wasn't popular. It wasn't mainstream yet. So we were just doing it for the fun of it. Whereas like now, people going into it see it as a way to like blow up. So it's like different motives, if that makes sense. Which sucks because I wish I wouldn't have quit streaming back then. I would have been able to ride this wave.
creators and viewers flood the scene. If you were able to get whitelisted on one of these servers and stream it around its peak, you were almost guaranteed viewership.
Yeah.
Like you were a VTuber in 2020. Before it got oversaturated, obviously.
Oh my
And
god.
GTR
I'll say this, if VTubing is now annoying. I'm just gonna say this. It's so oversaturated. Everyone's doing the same thing. They act the same thing. A lot of them are stuck up, like actually pretentious for no reason. When it's like you're literally just doing what everybody else does.
RP once again saw another peak in popularity in 2021 with the launch of NoPixel 3.0, allowing for more mods, bespoke systems, and even more capabilities, most of which developed by the NoPixel dev team that deepened and made the role-playing experience more entertaining. I personally love the 24-hour cozy XQC streams. As one, I learned a new language.
No, yeah. I'm a happy with that bag. I seen some of these documentaries. I ain't believing none of that. The government and no getting no one in the mass sample.
My camera's in the way. Basically.
And sometimes it was the perfect
Dude,
NyQuil for sleeping. You also have
is.
Red Dead Redemption RP, which is also a thing. But GTRP has its disadvantages and its somewhat dark sides. From the people that
Oh, but by the way, I think Red Dead RP is the back when Red Dead RP started was the closest you could get to what original GTA RP was. But now even Red Dead RP is just dog shit.
play it and their characters' questionable interactions to the servers themselves. And that's what this video is about, as GTRP can be equally entertaining and horrifying, simply down to the personalities that play it and the people hosting the experience.
Yep.
Why you gotta be such a bitch?
So when you're getting into GTA RP as a role player, there's a few prerequisites you have to do before jumping straight in. First,
into
you
your
have to
wallet.
choose a server you want to join.
Dig into
Some
your wallet.
servers have different mods, different time settings. Some are based in the 90s, some are based in the future. I'm just waiting for one based in the prehistoric times with...
That would be so funny. No, I'm sorry, moving my camera around. No, the first step is you got to see how much money you got in your wallet and how much you're willing to spend on a server.
cavemen, and obviously each server has different rules. There's even hardcore servers, where if your character dies, there is no respawning, there is no paramedics to save you, and your story and the friends you've made die with them. And if you make a new character, you basically have to act like a stranger to people you were probably previously well associated with. But some servers don't even allow you to join straight up. First, you have to pass something equivalent to an interview, going over things like your character and previous RP experience before you can even join. This is the application process, and for some servers you first have to pay a fee.
Yes, sir. That's what I'm saying.
Just to submit your application and have someone look at it. Probably looking at a character you've based off yourself.
Which one of the things that I think, as somebody, like, if once people found out that I was like an OG into the scene a long time ago, one of the things that I've always asked to make a server, there's a video, whether you know it or not, 5M is dying. It's gonna die. Rockstar already know, like, the leaks came out that they're gonna kill it. But whatever this Project Rome is that they're doing, which is supposed to be like Roblox, but if they allow us to have some type of RP in there, maybe this time around I will. I also wanted to do a Red Dead server, started the process for it and started developing it, but then ended up selling the server because I don't know, I just wasn't interested in it, I think, in running it. But I think if this time around, I might because I think it's just because everybody will be on the same playing field, and I think as somebody who's been around from the very beginning, I think I would know how to start it off right rather than trying to do it now where everything is so scuffed.
And they found it way too boring and got confused why you listed under character traits. Still can't decide whether they're eroded brain, if they have ADHD, or they're just mentally inadequate. And the fact they use Twitter and 4chan to goon other than conventional websites. But they will evaluate your character and past experience and decide if you are a good fit for the server. If not, and you're denied, you'll have to pay the same fee again to send another application. For more popular servers, you may need to pay on the high end $50 a month, so you get priority queuing and don't have to wait around with the free-to-play peasants. And now, you're finally on the server. But the prices don't stop there. Some servers are pay to win, so you can buy in-game currency from the server, which realistically may impact your character's story. You can pay for specific mods or items or even vehicles to be added to the server. I think the average Audi driver would improve their immersion by not only being a cockwomble IRL, but also doing it in GTA. Absolute scum of the earth. You can also pay for specific jobs and roles.
And I don't know if he's going to say this, some of them even have loot boxes in the server. Like, I've seen it. There was, I don't remember which server it was, but I think it was Power RP. I remember when I was streaming, they're like, come play our server, come play our server. But it was because people that referred people to play that server got a bonus in game, and it was like a loot box, and they had like a fucking battle pass. It was a joke. Sorry, I had to get my slipper, my other slipper, my feet are cold. But yeah, it was a fucking joke because it's just like this whole monetization thing where like they do referrals.
To be implemented onto the server. Yes,
Crazy.
GTA RP is a lot like Gmod Dark RP, but GTA makes a lot more money.
Bajillions.
And I mean a lot. You'd be surprised by how many people actually are willing to spend their money on these servers.
It's just
but
Roblox.
Some GTA servers are a lot more pay to win than others. I managed to get in contact with someone that is very active in the GTA RP community, and there is no shortage of people that...
If you don't have money or you want to get your ego stroked, don't even bother playing Lamo. True, brother.
Want to spend their money. and definitely not a shortage of mods or server owners that will take that money. This person saw someone put $10,000 IRL into the server for
That's light. That's easy. That's easy money.
an RP gang war that went towards buying in-game guns and sprays. Sprays were used on the server to claim areas for gangs within the server. But 10k, that is at least one Warhammer full army, or about
True.
50,000 spins on a slot machine. The person I was in contact with also went on to say that some of the people playing the game developed an unhealthy addiction to the game, dedicating their entire lives to it.
And I will say this as somebody who, so I originally played for the RP. I took a break, came back to it, played it for the RP. But then what would happen is, as the years went by, the quality of this RP was just, it was basically gone. Basically, people would treat it as like, if you ever play the game Second Life, it's just like an online hangout space. And so what happens is, even as somebody, I'm going to say this as as somebody who's fallen into this trap, as somebody who was like trying to tell a story and do all this stuff, if you're constantly surrounded by people just talking normally, not even in character or anything like that, over time you'll start just not caring and then giving into that. And it'll start like, you'll get on and you'll log in and play for like 6 hours because you've just been idling the whole time. So it's like, it's easy to do that. But I think there's, just to say, there's people who like use this platform to like live their actual life, that actually like, I don't want to put anybody on blast, but there's been people who are like, oh, I'm gonna date this girl from another country or whatever, and they have to log in just to see them. You know, it's insane. People take it way too serious, but it's whatever. I mean, I've took it serious because I wanted it to be better, right? And I wish, and this is probably where my biggest mistake with RP is, always wanting it to go back to what it was, and then like realize, and not like realizing that it's always going to be what it is now, a scam.
To the point where they eat, sleep, and defecate this game, with some players having 12 to 14-hour shifts playing the game.
Yep.
Some believing they actually have a responsibility within the game doing their RP job. And RP jobs and activities are very tedious and very time consuming. On some servers, things like selling drugs requires you to wait.
Even as somebody who would like run businesses, and pretty much every server I was in, even at like a manageable, like a less tedious level, it's still extremely tedious because you have to make, so for example, I'm not crafting drugs the whole time or whatever, but if I wanted to put together an event, I have to be online around the times that I expect people to be so I can start coordinating things. So it's like, even if you're not doing tasks specifically that are tedious, your time has to be blocked out in order for you to plan things. So it just becomes like this, no matter at what level that you think it's going to become less of a job the higher you go in the like social ranking of GTRP, but it doesn't change. No matter what, it doesn't change because it needs that to survive.
10 IRL hours to grow the full product.
Yep.
And on top of that, you have to water it every hour. And a lot of people do this because they need to grind money in the server.
Yes, and even if you don't have to grind money, you still have to grind your time. Like, that's the one thing, like, I never was about grinding money because I don't care about in-city money. In every game that every city that I was in, I would always use that money on other players. But it didn't change the fact that I still had to put in the time. So much of my time was gone. And I don't say that I regret it, but it sucks because, like, I would always want it to be back to what RP was, but it just never became that.
It's almost like your average Rust player. But at least they'll stop when they've had their base they spent 100 hours on grinding, raided by the over 20-man Chinese clan. Or they'll just
I fucking hate
move on
Rust.
to the next server, rinse and repeat.
hate
And there are
Rust.
people that take this and the RP experience extremely seriously. To the point where the person I was talking to said they've experienced people that have neglected their own lives just to grind for themselves on the server or for their gang. And it can be quite addicting.
It is.
But they went out of their way to clarify it's not actually the community making it this way, it's more the server owners, as some purposely make it hard to progress as an incentive to either.
Okay, but I will defend not this. Okay, listen, hear me out. I will defend that people need to actually play the server, like be in there and play it, because that's how you get your server population. Now, I don't like that this is too easy to do, and this is so normal where you can just pay for gems, guns, and shit like that.
Either pay to win or to sink a tremendous amount of time on the server. It almost seems a bit predatory, along with things like the price gouging and high prices for things in the game.
Which is also something to think about. It's already in the game. This isn't the things that they're selling you aren't things that these people are making. There's no developer making these. They're just locking them behind a paywall.
But, and are you ready for this? It's this channel's signature slogan, and if you get it right in the comments, you get a single Oreo that was the aftermath of a soggy biscuit game. But, are you ready? It gets much worse.
It does.
Because on the more extreme side of some of these mods and server owners, if they couldn't extract enough money out of these poor husks that are more interested in living a fictional life than their real life, if perchance you find yourself getting banned for either taking the game too seriously, fail RP, RDMing somebody, which is just killing someone without a reason, obtaining information that you found through not actually playing the game or finding out yourself, like watching someone's Twitch stream, or for no reason you are subsequently banned, some of these servers require you to pay upwards of $1,000 just to get up.
It's more than that. I've seen this, not for me. I've been fortunate enough to never have this situation. If anything, I've always been asked to come back on servers, but I've seen upwards of around 10 grand to get unbanned on a server. I don't remember which server it was because this was a long time ago, but I've seen it up there.
Unbanned and get a hit of GTA RP. No ticket system, no appeal system, just straight up give us your money, you're forgiven, and we hope you learned your lesson.
And even then, sometimes what they'll do is you'll pay the fee and then you'll have to reapply. You don't actually get in again. You have to reapply. And what they'll do is they'll then charge you an application fee, deny you. Then you have to pay again. Then you pay again, they deny you. Then you pay again, they accept you.
And surprisingly, a lot of people pay this price, unfortunately. Now, a specific case study I found was the server PMA RP. Admittedly, this server didn't have that bad of a case of price
$120 for a wheelchair.
gouging.
That's
But
crazy.
the problem more lies with the server owner, as I was able to find multiple Reddit posts condemning the server, many regarding it as the worst GTA RP server, which just sounds like a similar naming convention to my videos, and I found a full document regarding the server owner. But in one of the posts with 1,500 hours just on that server, they speak about their dissatisfaction with their experience on the server.
I don't know if I should say this. Should I say this? Oh, should I say this? Okay, so when word got around that I possibly wanted to make a server, I had quite a few people offer me to run their server and like buy it or like have ownership in it. What people need to understand is when I was looking at these servers, you could see everything anyone's ever said in this game to each other. And there was one server, not going to say which one, that I was offered. And I looked at it and I could see messages from one of the previous server owners to some of their people and what they were saying. And they were in the logs. It was all still there. And I just want to say, like, you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised what these people be saying and like doing. So always don't be surprised, basically, is what I'm saying. Because I'm trying to, I can't say everything, but I just know that.
Mainly due to the server owner and their antics. And this is a common occurrence among all the Reddit posts I've found about the server. And just to list a few, randomly punishing players for no reason, interfering with roleplay and gameplay just because they could, and most of the time, being a man-child. But the document was significantly worse. I'm talking 50 pages of
Oh my
literal
God.
sulfuric acid in my eyes. Just about the things this guy has done as a server owner. And this server's owner name was Chris. Now this document is from the perspective of a paid mod of the server that was wrongfully terminated and still owed IRL possessions and money, all from a server they alleged makes 100,000 a month.
And that's right now the top servers make way more than that.
The mod's name was Mickey. Mickey had left her job teaching to become a full-time member of this server, working 12 to 18 hours a day and still being ridiculed by Chris when she was not on the server doing things like sleeping because, you know, 12 to 18 hour shifts are not mentally.
And he's saying, like, can people actually work in these jobs? Yes, you can. Typically, the main paid positions are devs and like lead moderator, like the main mod, because that's the person who, like, when the server owner typically is somebody who's either on the server all the time or never on the server, and the main mod is basically just there to substitute.
Draining it all. Now, it's important to note, these two were in a relationship. Yes, Chris was dating one of his mods, and even eventually paid to fly her out to him.
Of course. Isn't it funny? I hadn't seen it yet, and I hinted that that's what they do.
And in this document, they show screenshots of personal messages between them and Chris. But going back to when she was visiting, he reassured her, the mod, that they were going to see each other again shortly, so she ended up leaving some of her possessions behind. This included her laptop and some clothes, because once again, she thought she would be back. But it's also important to note at this time, Chris was married, but separated with his wife. His wife's name was Madison, and she was even a part of the GTA RP server.
Oh, no! That's actually wild.
And knew about the relationship between the two, to the point where Mickey the mod and the wife had a conversation about it, and both seemed fine with each other. Now, almost as soon as the mod gets back from the trip, Chris gets overly distant.
And of course she has a kitten, kitten logo icon.
Very dismissive of the mod's health, who was apparently his girlfriend at the time, and even when Mickey the mod brings up the fact he's getting very distant and there is relatively no intimacy anymore, I'm talking a full paragraph, he just responds with something about server drama. Now, unbeknownst to Mickey, Chris was talking to his wife again and other girls on the server.
Of course.
So he was apparently cheating on her with his wife and other girls on the server. It is such a clusterfuck.
He's collecting them, the Discord kittens, collecting them. And this is just this server. I'm telling you, as somebody who was, people were trying to give me their server. Not even to, like, I didn't even have to pay money for some of these. But when I was looking at them, you would be surprised at what people were doing just looking at the in-game logs. It's insane. Just looking at what's going on. And it's because I think people who played like something like Second Life are on here.
Now, in their last conversation, the mod, Mickey, the girlfriend, confronts him on the server out of character, and Mickey just wants a sliver of reassurance to maintain the relationship, and Chris basically responds by saying, "Fuck you, I'm playing GTA RP. I don't have time to talk about our IRL relationship right now. I'm cosplaying as an entirely different person on a video game."
Entirely. Well, we'll see what happens. You
Yeah.
know, I disagree. You know, I don't think that that's going to happen at all.
Okay. Well, you know, I'm a little upset.
I'll be
And
guarding El Doro.
I need my, I need my sweetie. I'm a little upset. Can you not beat it for me when I'm upset?
I'm literally stuck at the door. I
Yeah,
can't do anything but door.
Yeah, it's okay. It's not like you're out there for me. You know, it's okay.
I literally have to hold the door, or people are going to come in and call names and shoot people.
Okay.
I gotta hold the door.
Okay. Yeah. Well, enjoy that. I just want, you know, a little bit of comfort once in a while. Sometimes, hopefully, maybe.
I can't do.
And for some reason, she does not give up there. She once again tries to get reassurance, asking if he loves her, and he simply replies with, "He only loves the business."
I don't know if I want to watch this part. It's gonna make me uncomfortable. Just because how fucked up this is.
You love me?
So right now, the only thing I love is the business. I'm focused on nothing but the business right now.
The business he was actively ruining himself with his own reputation and antics he was conducting on the server, but he reiterates multiple
Cringe.
times he only cares about the business and doesn't have time for their relationship, but can't decide if he wants to break up with her or not, whilst once again talking to his separated wife and other girls.
His
I don't
wife.
want to end anything with you because I genuinely love you and
Well,
I'm
you
willing.
have to be happy. It's very obvious. You need someone who's going to sit there and be, comforting and want to, be there for you at all hours. I'm never going to be that. My focus is the business. The business has to survive.
It
You
has
have
to
be okay,
survive.
you never
Bitch,
will
get
be,
off the
because
server
you're
is
gonna
what he's
want more and
saying.
more. You want to be nurtured and held and all that other stuff. I'm not that guy.
I'm not that guy.
No, I never said that, but it's not what you want, obviously, right? Yeah, that's the thing. You want my full focus, right? Like you want that, but I'll
Well-
never be able to provide that.
Now what it boils down to is the mod gets removed from the server after this conversation, gets blocked on everything by Chris, and the mod Mickey still doesn't have her possessions or laptop that she left with Chris hoping she would come back. And it gets even worse because he allegedly tries to sell her laptop to other people on the server, and some of the 12 to 18 hour shifts she did still goes unpaid from a server that apparently makes $100,000 a month.
That's so fucked. But I am not surprised. I'm actually laughing. I'm actually smiling because it's so common. This whole thing is so common. I think that's why, like, in a weird way, I'm glad GTRP is gonna die. Like, it's gonna get killed.
Now, obviously, this isn't every server or every server owner. This is just an example of one of the most extreme cases I've
No,
found.
but it's actually
and the
very
server
common.
itself rightfully has a reputation of a stale, stagnant cum shot. But there are other servers that have been asking YouTubers like Bub Games to advertise their scam servers, in which Bub showed the worst of the server, including their $300 battle pass. But
Yep.
once again, not all GTA RP servers are like this, but they do make a lot of money.
They do.
But if you did think these servers were bad, the players are just as worse.
100%.
Stupid mistakes, man.
So some players of GTA RP take it way too seriously. You've had instances where people have been banned on platforms like Twitch for ERPing on GTA.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. Hey, slow down, buddy. Hey, slow down. Slow down.
Which stands for erotic roleplay, so people are gooning in the game. But
What's
a
wrong
lot
with-
of people have found good friends and even relationships through GTRP, and some people roleplay relationships within the game whilst they have a significant other. In the
It's so common, dude.
IRL world, just to add, imagine being cooked through GTA roleplay. That is a horrifying thought.
What
But
a
GTRP
life to
holds a
live.
lot of personalities, both streamers and just regular players. But with so many personalities, not everything would be so chemo cheat, especially in the streaming environment. Remember I mentioned literally 10 seconds ago about being cooked in GTA, with your partner getting involved with a GTA RP partner, and it's just roleplay, honey. You're so insecure. Why would I cheat on you with a GTA
Oh,
NPC?
he's talking about Moon.
It
Fucking
did
hate
actually
this guy.
happen. Enter Moon.
Well, I don't hate him. I just can't stand, like, the hype around him.
Everyone's favourite bald streamer, sorry Tyler 1, a popular streamer known for his Overwatch days and later GTA RP. Moon was unknowingly separated from his IRL wife at the time and had begun interacting a lot with his GTA wife, Diva Gilu. Diva
Gilly.
Somebody that was still married. And in September of 2024, all hell broke loose.
Yeah, this is
Diva's
funny.
IRL husband would take to the internet and tell everyone he had essentially been cheated on with his wife's GTA RP husband. And both of them met at TwitchCon, which is a
He got cucked. She got cucked. Or he got cucked, yeah. Hey, you know what? All I'm gonna say is that's not the worst thing that's happened at TwitchCon. I know a lot that's happened at TwitchCon.
convention for streamers and viewers and had sexual relations. And she wasn't just communicating with Moon, she was communicating with a lot of other guys, sexually explicit stuff.
If I'm gonna say this, if your girl's a streamer and she's going to TwitchCon by herself without you, she's getting dick down, buddy. She's getting dick down by streamers. And the best part is, it's going to be great content. And you're going to have to sit there and watch it and be the cuck that you are. Because you didn't go with her. And she didn't let you go with you. You hear me right now? If you're a girl, you fucking cuck. I'm trying to gaslight people in the comments. That never happened to me, thank God. But the stories I've heard, ain't nobody safe.
So the IRL husband had been cooked by the GTA RP husband, and then the GTA RP husband and wife met up at TwitchCon and had sex. Now the husband could have stopped there. He could have just let us all know it happened and left us with our sanity, but no. He decided to show these screenshots of the messages between the two, and oh god. You know, I'm not kink shaming. You know, these were private messages. We've probably all done worse. This is probably...
You're such a girl to be in love.
On the same level of 10% of the messages you've been sending to that alt-twink femboy. But Jesus, we did not need to see those messages. Now, the outcome of this whole situation, Moon Moon had to come out and tell everyone he's not with his wife anymore, so Moon Moon was not cheating on his IRL wife. Gillette, the best a man can get. But he was under the assumption it was an open marriage, and he was told as such.
Do you think you were lied to?
He denies. He deny.
About the open marriage thing, or is the other guy on Xannies? I asked multiple times. I was like, is that truly the case? And she said yes, and I believe her. I don't.
Look at this guy. Look at this. This is what you got cucked by right here. This is what you got cooked by. This is what ruined your marriage right here. You see that? That's why you shouldn't. That's why you don't play GTRP. Because this is what's going to ruin you right here. This big old... Not only that, he got a dent right here, and he's got a dent right here, and he probably has another dent over here. So let me tell you this. You're going to get cucked by this guy. Congrats.
Really...
The wife that cheated came out and said, oh, they were only married for tax purposes.
What a bitch.
You know, I hate taxes, but I wouldn't get married to somebody else just to avoid them. But she basically came out and said she was the victim here. And the general consensus from the internet, nobody really cared. It wasn't concrete evidence. She didn't really prove that they were married for only tax reasons. And the husband...
Which, by the way, you don't really save that much when you're married. So, I don't know.
Even responded promptly afterwards saying it was all bullshit and they were in love. But once again, nobody really cared. They were just happy that Moon Moon didn't cheat on his wife and in fact cheated with somebody else's wife. Bottom of the line is, if your significant other is playing GTA RP... it's GG's next game. Now, all of that is not nearly as bad as the SavX situation. SavX was an important member of the NoPixel server. He was entertaining, he had rivals with other creators, and his character Johnny Castle was basically woven into the NoPixel server at this point. But it would not last long, because around the same time in late 2020, SavX would unfortunately die. IRL, not in game.
This is not Sav writing this. Sav passed away Christmas afternoon.
And this was a big shock to the community and the NoPixel server. And a funeral was held on the server with all the players present, and his name was engraved permanently on one of the tombstones on the server for all the players to see. But obviously, the story doesn't end there. You think I would bluntly mention a dude dying IRL with no remorse? It does sound like something I would do. But it turns out before he died, he was in deep controversy. He had been caught using aimbot on the NoPixel server. Aimbot in a role-playing server. It's like using contraception with a fleshlight. Don't tell me it's easy to clean up. You're all degenerates if you think that. But he was essentially getting roasted from all corners of the internet for using aimbot on a role-playing server. But that didn't last long because, unfortunately, he did die. And a lot of people were mourning him, including his close friends. But it's just fortunate he had a totem of undying when he died. Because believe it or not, he was not dead. He just wanted...
This is why I was... you know what's funny? Okay, I'll say this. I was wanting to talk my shit, okay? But I'm pretty sure I remembered him being alive. But I was like, I'm pretty sure he's alive, but I'm going to wait to see what this guy says in the video because I don't want to end up being wrong. But I'm like 98% sure.
All of his friends and the internet believe he was. Now imagine your friend just died and you've just got over mourning them. Then they fucking send you a message on Discord like the Lord on the third day of return and making light of the situation because That's exactly what he did. He sent a Discord message to someone he made believe they were dead, but don't worry, his account could have been hacked. Well, it wasn't, because Coyle, the co-owner of NoPixel and lead developer, paid a private investigator to investigate the situation, and yeah, he was still alive.
We got someone to investigate some shit, like hired a guy or people, and it's 100% confirmed that he's alive, by the way. There's literally zero doubt. Actual evidence, okay? So we got all this information, but obviously I can't release it because that's pretty much doxing.
So he faked his own death to avoid criticism for cheating on a server, just to get clowned on by the same people, even worse, for faking your own death.
I believe at the time of his faked death Chris Angel stunt, he had right around 1,500 subs on Twitch, which he just fucking wiped his ass with
Which I just... You would... The RPC needs to just get nuked. I'm sorry. This is not even the worst stuff I've seen. Which I guess it sucks, because like I've been around too long, I guess. It's really... It's more of a joke on me. Really, all of this is just a joke on me that I've been a part of this for so long. I'm actually the clown here. I'm the one in the clown costume that I'm willing to exist in a community like this for so many years. Have I finally taken off the clown outfit now that I don't do RP, and I haven't really done it really seriously in the last 8 months, probably? I think so. I mean, I still want to launch a server if GTA 6 allows us to see if I can do it right and do right by the community and see if I can bring back the old days, but who knows?
this. Just threw it all away for this fake death thing, which is like right out of Hey Arnold with that Dino Spumoni character.
This is not peak cinema. This is GATO cinema. This is watching two crackheads fight over a ball of cocaine. But obviously since then, he has not returned to the internet.
4 big guys. And
busting them thighs.
Now that was a quick insight into the quite possibly worst side of GTA RP from the players to the servers. But I think GTA RP is genuinely entertaining either to play or watch somebody else do. But admittedly, I don't know anything about playing it, I only know about watching it, and I don't know if I'm ever going to stick my toes in that stagnant pool. But I genuinely think GTA RP is entertaining, and it can be a good way to make friends and have fun. Obviously playing it, I don't think you're going to make friends in XQC's Twitch chat, but anyway.
Please be my friend. No, I think all that could be done in GTRP story wise and like creativity wise has already been done. I don't see it going anywhere else outside of more of the same. And then all the people that are coming into the space aren't very good, disrespectfully, for the space, because they're coming in with either the intentions to pop off, aren't putting in the work to actually RP, aren't trying to get better, don't really know what RP is really, rather than just thinking it's a game that you voice chat with. It's a little bit more than that. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. Was I too harsh on this? Is this the dark side of GTRP? Have you seen worse stories? Actually, I want to know what's the worst thing you've ever seen in GTRP. All right, love you guys. Bye. This video is brought to you actually by viewers like you. Thank you so much for subscribing and being part of my journey and allowing me to be a part of yours. Let's create new memories this 2025 on our road to 1 million subscribers. And with all that jazz out of the way, I just want to say thank you so much. I love y'all and enjoy the video.